Nam Nghi Resort in Phu Quoc, Vietnam is a gorgeous property, but it could be so much more. Find out why, coming up. Vietnam has a long coastline to the east, but today we're going to focus on Phu Quoc Island in the far southwest of the country. The largest island in Vietnam, most visitors will arrive by domestic flight. From the airport, Nam Nghi is a 40-minute drive to the north. The hotel offers a shared complimentary shuttle, which sounded nice, but I was unaware I'd need to share my shuttle with the driver's coffee break, and then wait 25 minutes at another resort for some more guests that were on their way to Nam Nghi as well. The resort is located in a relatively remote part of the island, on its own small peninsula jetting due south into the sea, which gives Nam Nghi a unique ability to have both sunset and sunrise facing rooms. Check-in was an absolute blur. After being offered a welcome drink, surprise surprise, it's lemongrass tea, my quote-unquote butler introduced herself and downloaded a massive amount of information about the resort and my stay. To say she was rushing was an understatement. If I needed anything, I was to send her a message on WhatsApp. Her number given to me verbally while I was scrambling to open the app that I hadn't used for over a year. After she took me to my villa moments later, I never saw her again. That wonderful experience aside, the lobby is a beautiful space. A seamless mix of traditional Indochine elements with a modern touch. Originally opened in 2017, Nam Nghi was added to Hyatt's Unbound collection in 2018, to great fanfare. At the time, it was the first Unbound collection property in Southeast Asia. The honeymoon didn't last long though, as Hyatt dropped the property just over a year later for undisclosed reasons. It's easy to see how this resort fit into the Hyatt portfolio, and small touches of the World of Hyatt brand can still be seen around the property. But enough of what once was. The Reflection restaurant was located off the lobby but was not open during my visit. We'll talk a bit about the restaurant that was open, the Treehouse, a bit later. The resort has a total of 114 rooms, suites, and villas, with the majority of them occupying the low-rise building that we're in now. Otherwise, the peninsula is dotted with the remainder of suites and villas, where there are a dizzying number of room categories. Just to the north is the pool and beach area. Note there was also some small beaches on their private rock island, but this is the largest one. Unfortunately, the pool bar, as well as the spa, were also not available during my stay. The pool was a nice size and terraced, but even by 9 a.m. when this was filmed, the chairs and umbrellas were yet to be set up. The beach has Phu Quoc's characteristically light golden sand and plenty of loungers, though the beach itself could be raked a bit more. Flanked by some beautiful rocks, the water was clear and warm. Phu Quoc has two distinct seasons, which is more or less true for all of southern Vietnam. December through April is ideal with calm waters and very little or no rainfall. The temperatures on the island is consistent in the low 30s Celsius or high 80s Fahrenheit throughout the year. Here's the key point though: rainy season. Rainy season lasts from May until November. If you look at a weather forecast, it will surely say that it's going to rain every day. That's true, but that's not the problem. During the rainy season, southern Vietnam generally sees showers in the afternoons for about an hour or so. But during the rainy season, the waters are murky and the seas can be very rough. Not ideal for any island activities. One of the highlights of the resort for me were the really beautiful grounds. They achieved the balance of perfectly manicured and still looking natural. As the resort occupies the entire peninsula it sits on, you'll rarely not see the sea from wherever you're walking. Pathways like this are all over the resort and provided for some really nice walks, especially early in the morning and near dusk after having a drink at the Rock Island bar. Now we're going to head to my villa during my stay. This was the Sunrise Villa, which was their second highest one-bedroom category. The Sunset Villas commanded a higher price, but in a little bit I'll explain why I think the Sunrise Villas are actually superior. Entering from the side, you'll immediately find yourself in the middle of the villa with the bathroom to the right and your terrace and beautiful view to the left. Behind the bed, you'll find a nice workstation, but the very low seating position made it less than ideal for working. The cookies were very much appreciated though, and you'll hear about that later. The villa has an abundance of storage areas with this large open space as well as two closed wardrobes, one on each side of the room. I will say, generally speaking, I was impressed with the fit and finish of the room. All too often in Vietnam, you'll come across beautiful, Instagram-worthy hotels and resorts, which, upon closer inspection, are built with cheap materials and show more wear and tear than their age would indicate. Nam Nghi very clearly didn't go that route. Beautiful as they may be, the villas were not without fault, which brings us, all too often, to the coffee station. The empty pull-out shelf had what appeared to be an espresso relic of the Hyatt era. It was just sad, especially since the insert was removable. What did they have instead? Instant coffee and Dasani. Very sad, and way below the image that they're trying to sell here. Did I mention they like to consider themselves an eco-friendly resort? A 5-star, eco-friendly resort, exclusively using Dasani. Okay, back to the good stuff. The bed was supremely comfortable, and I liked the nook built into the headboard. Perfectly set up for a book, glasses, or your phone. Probably also perfectly set up to misplace your book, glasses, or phone. The other wardrobe had some interesting robes and an umbrella. And now we come to the truly beautiful bathroom, which does look just as good in person as it does in photos. Freestanding sinks were set on each side with slightly awkwardly positioned mirrors. In the middle, there was a table to put all of your toiletries. The bathtub, the literal centerpiece of the room, was massive, and while it took a long time to fill up, it was faster than I was expecting, and very indulgent to say the least. The indoor shower had handheld, waterfall, and rainfall shower heads, with a cutout for the soap bottles, something I've heard that many of the other category of rooms are lacking. Directly behind is the toilet room, which is adjacent to the sliding door leading out to the outdoor shower. The outdoor area is small but functional for what it is, and landscaped nicely to give the entire bathroom a tropical feel. The outdoor shower doesn't have a shelf for the soaps, but the waterfall shower more than makes up for it. Definitely one of the better outdoor setups I've come across this year. Finally, in front of the bed, we have our really nicely sized outdoor terrace. Considering the size, I wish there were some loungers out here, but the views and the placement of the villa, half over land, half over water, were really spectacular. All day and night, you could hear the gentle crashing of the mini waves on the rocks below. The great placement of the villas again goes back to that balance between manicured landscaping and a natural feel. If you're coming to Nam Nghi, I really need to insist that you choose one of the villas. There's absolutely no comparison with the regular rooms in the main building. Now we're going to talk a bit about why the sunrise villas are better than the sunset villas. So, here's the peninsula. East to the right, west to the left. Here we have the main building, the pool and the beach area we saw before. Here's the Treehouse restaurant. And the sunset villas are located here, here, and here. The sunrise villas are here, here, and here. The sunset villas are crowded together and offer little privacy, especially on the terraces. The sunrise villas are better spaced out, and because of the Rock Island Bar, which we're going to be going to now, you'll always have a great place to watch the sunset anyway. The Rock Island Bar is absolutely one of the selling points of this resort, and is only accessible by boat. The island also has some beautiful coves and private areas where you could lounge around during the day, so the hotel provides a boat transfer service throughout the day until after sunset. During my stay, there were maybe 20 people at the bar, but the bar area is available for non-guests as well, and I've heard that it can get very crowded during peak season, pre-COVID at least. Do yourself a favor and ask at check-in if reservations would be a good idea or not. The pier offers a striking overview of the resort. You don't need to worry about the boat schedule. It's a very short 5-minute ride between the piers, so just show up and the boat will be there soon if it's not there already. The island is small, but the whole of it is available to use if you'd like to lounge around during the day. Otherwise, the bar also serves a variety of seating areas in front of the bar itself, with breathtaking views of the sunset. The bar's interior doesn't really have much to see, but that's not why you're here anyway. In the distance, you can see the different seating options available. Definitely make a reservation for one of them if you'd like, as they fill up really fast. I love my sunrises and sunsets, but I'll admit tonight's was a bit boring. It was beautiful, but well before approaching the horizon, the sun disappeared into a layer of haze in the distance. After leaving the bar, it was time for dinner at the well-acclaimed Treehouse Restaurant. Set near the edge of the peninsula, the restaurant is perched above the landscape. For a starter, I had a scallop dish served with what was supposed to be sticky rice, but goopy would probably be a better descriptor. The scallops were nice, the rice not so much. For the main, well, I didn't have anything. 35 minutes after my starter was cleared, there was still no sign of my main. I was one of 4 tables at the restaurant. When I heard the table behind me cancel their mains for the same reason, I realized perhaps today just wasn't their best day. I signaled to the server, and unlike the other customers, I quietly canceled my main and asked for a check. This was met with a balanced mix of concern, genuine empathy, and a great sense of relief, which kind of sums up the service throughout the resort. The staff are well-intentioned, but they're not properly trained. And when they're short on staff, which I later learned to be the case, the perfect storm begins to form. And now you know why I was so appreciative of those cookies in my room. Those rounded out the meal for the evening. The next morning, breakfast was okay, just okay. The buffet was being set up for a good 20 minutes after opening time, and when it was complete, I was told by one of the servers that there was a menu for a la carte egg dishes, which turned out to not be true. So she just asked what I wanted, which was eggs Benedict, which they started to prepare about 10 minutes later after they found the cook. 10 minutes after that, 2 eggs Benedict, served on 2 different plates, appeared. They were pretty good, and at least hot, as much of the rest of the food was not. The coffee was good though. Let me take a moment now to explain a bit about why the score I gave the resort might seem a bit higher than expected. I'm a firm believer that even the worst situations in the hospitality or restaurant industries can be turned around with an honest explanation and a genuine service recovery. And that's exactly what happened here. The next morning, the general manager sought me out and profusely apologized for the problems with the food and service. At the very least, he had some staff that knew enough to at least bring this to his attention. Long story short, it was his first week after a very difficult transition from the previous GM. Staffing issues resulted, and there were simply not enough staff on hand. It was acknowledged, explained, and recovered, and after working in the hospitality industry for going on 20 years, I appreciate the honesty. So yes, the service and food scores are a bit higher than they would have been otherwise. All of that said, the restaurant is in a beautiful setting, and I genuinely would like to go back to Nam Nghi someday to see what could have been. Now though, let's get on with the flip-flop score. The villas at Nam Nghi were truly beautiful, and the setting was stunning, 10 out of 10. 4 years after opening, the room is still in top condition with a few minor exceptions, 9 out of 10. The service was all over the place, but recoveries were made, 6 out of 10. The common areas that were open at least were all well kept and designed, and Rock Island was stunning, 9 out of 10. The grounds were beautiful and up there with some of the best that I've seen this year, an easy 10 out of 10. All of the dark finishes usually lend to seeing a lot of dust, but that wasn't the case, 9 out of 10 for cleanliness. The Treehouse Restaurant has a perfect setting almost up in the canopy, and we know the Sunset Bar is a winner, 9 out of 10. The food had major issues, but I'm optimistic about its turnaround, 6 out of 10. Amenities were good, except for the in-room water and coffee available, 7 out of 10. The beach was more or less typical for the island, but it could have been manicured a bit more. 8 out of 10. Overall, 83 out of 100. Assuming the service and food issues have been resolved, I'd probably recommend the property, especially the villas. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to see more.